Hello, and thank you for watching this ag forecast for the southern U.S. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, happy Friday. I'm going to hit you with the satellite picture here to get started. We've got a front making its way from the northeast all the way into the southern plains, a cold front. You can see the clouds accompanying that. You can also see the quick northwest to southeast flow on the backside, ushering in much cooler and drier air to the northern plains, the Midwest, and much of the south as we head through the next 24 to 38 hours. Some very light showers accompanying this. Really, the precipitation's begun to wash out as this frontal boundary sinks into the south. A lack of upper-level support being the main culprit there, but still some heavier showers as you head off toward the mid-Atlantic into the northeast along with that frontal boundary. And as we look at the temperatures here, a little taste of winter starting to intrude into the northern plains and the Great Lakes. But down here in the south, we're just talking about some cool, dry air, very pleasant 50s and 60s for just about everyone this morning until you head off toward the southeast into Florida, where the front is not yet cleared. We're still talking about muggy 70s and 80s in that area. Now I'm showing you the soil moisture percentile here, valid on October 16th, and I'm just showing this to point out the areas that it has been active in terms of precipitation really over the last 3 to 5 weeks. Those would be across the Pacific Northwest, where we've seen strong onshore flow from the Pacific Ocean. We've seen Clipper-like systems bringing precipitation through the northern Great Lakes into eastern Canada, at times the far northeast. We've seen tropical systems at times making their way through parts of the south, parts of the southeast, and then we've been really dry from the Four Corners, the desert southwest, all the way into parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley and on into the eastern Corn Belt. Now, as we head through the next week, we're going to start to bring some more activity into parts of the central U.S. that have been quite dry over the last 3 to 5 weeks, where we're really looking at a moisture deficit as we head into winter across this area, but then also getting some time to dry out across much of the south and the southeast, where we've seen several tropical systems bring some extremely heavy rainfall over the last 3 to 5 weeks. All of this has become because of a jet stream pattern here that's been established at this point, this big trough across the central U.S. This is what the jet stream looks like here on Friday morning. Big ridge over the Pacific, big trough here in the midsection of the country, and then another ridge here as you head out toward the Atlantic. So we've got an active storm track that's sending storm systems from the Canadian Prairie diving down here into the central U.S. We've also got an upper level area of high pressure that's going to be slowly moving off to the east, slowly moving off to the west toward the Great Lakes as we head deeper into the coming week. So what that does, we're looking at the pattern right now, very dry air making its way into the southeast. Again, a very pleasant, cool Friday here for us in the south. That's been the pattern over the last few weeks, these big crashing cold fronts clearing the deeper moisture and scouring it down toward the Gulf of Mexico. But with this pattern now, ridge out here, big trough kind of digging in, sending storm systems into the midsection of the country. It's a little bit extreme there. There we go. It's a little bit more appropriate for our jet stream flow. But then we get that high pressure cell sitting off the coast of Florida here with clockwise flow coming around that. Now we're tapping into the Gulf of Mexico and starting to bring some of that moisture northward. And so that's what's going to set the stage for a bit more of an active pattern across this region, the chance for some significant rainfall, the first of which that we've seen over the better part of the last month or two. So that's how we get a pattern that looks like this. We're looking at the 10-day precipitation anomaly forecast. Where you see it's active is where we get the strong onshore flow from the Pacific Ocean coming up and over the top of that ridge. And then here across the midsection of the country where we get these storm systems swinging in and then lifting off through the Great Lakes, tapping into the Gulf of Mexico moisture. Across the south, we'll see opportunities for some showers and storms. Otherwise, we'll be dry across much of the southern plains with some heavier precipitation possible on the tail end of some of these fronts across the Ozarks, eastern Oklahoma, into western and northern Arkansas. At times, scattered thunderstorm activity is going to be ongoing across this region, but it'll be hit or miss in nature, and we'll get some areas that are going to have some opportunities to dry out as we head into the next 7 to 10 days. A bit drier and a bit warmer across the southeast as well. We'll see cooler temperatures intruding from the Canadian prairies into the northern plains and the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, high pressure is going to keep things a bit warmer here across the south. We'll set up a battleground here where again, we'll see at times cold air intruding. We'll then at times see warm air being pushed back northward. And then again, this is the battleground where we'll see the more active pattern in terms of showers and storms and more significant precipitation. So as we look at the situation as we get started this weekend, we're looking at the hazards map on the left from the National Weather Service. Quiet across the southern U.S. until you get all the way back into the panhandles, where we're talking about a frost advisory with some of the cold air coming into the region. And then as we look at the fire weather outlook, quiet across the south until we get into the day tomorrow. Some of that cool, dry air and very windy conditions going to be making its way into the panhandle regions. We'll see a critical value or a critical fire weather risk here across parts of New Mexico, getting into the western Texas panhandle with an elevated risk surrounding that back into the central Rockies. Again, strong winds coming in on the backside of some of these fronts. We'll see some breezy conditions at times across the panhandles. We'll look at those winds here as we head through the day today. Pretty strong out of the southwest, gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. As we head into the day on Saturday, we'll see those winds out of the west and then turning out of the north as we head into the day on Sunday. Again, talking about the panhandle region where we'll see some of those strong winds and low relative humidity values. Total wind gusts or maximum wind gusts over the next 2.5 days, taking it all the way through Sunday afternoon. Again, seeing those winds at times across the panhandles gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, if not a couple gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Elsewhere across the south, though, as you head further off to the east, we're not talking about much in the way of winds. Again, we're looking at a very pleasant weekend in much of the southern U.S. Here's the high-resolution NAM model. This will show that front continuing to wash out as it moves into the southeast, taking precipitation or bringing precipitation to an end. We'll then see dry conditions take us all the way into Sunday, and that's when this area is going to start to light up. We'll have the frontal boundary stalled in this general area, storm systems sweeping out of the northern plains into the midsection of the country, tapping into the Gulf of Mexico. So the best combination of upper-level support, the existence of storm systems, and the presence of enough moisture for showers and storms is going to be found here across the midsection of the country. I do think at times, though, we're going to see scattered storms on the tail end of some of these frontal boundaries as we head deeper into next week. As it is now, though, the high-resolution NAM model keeping it quiet across the southern U.S., just a few scattered showers across Oklahoma and Arkansas as we head into Sunday afternoon. We can take it a bit deeper with the European model. We'll bring that one back here. Again, watching the frontal boundary today washing out, beginning to dissolve. We'll see those clouds breaking up, leading to sunny skies as we head into our Saturday. We'll see some of that light shower activity developing across Oklahoma and Arkansas during the day on Sunday. And then that frontal boundary just kind of sets up shop. So this is where a stormy pattern could begin across the Ozarks, again, across eastern Oklahoma into Arkansas. At times, we'll see some scattered thunderstorms all the way down toward the Gulf with just some of the deeper tropical moisture that's being drawn northward. Let's take this over time, though. Here's Monday. We're looking at showers and storms along that frontal boundary in Oklahoma and Arkansas. We'll take it into Tuesday. Very similar situation. Wednesday, we get another a bit more upper-level support. And so Wednesday, I think that we could see scattered storms anywhere between those two kind of lines there between eastern Texas over toward Alabama and Mississippi. Just scattered hit-or-miss shower and storm activity. A little bit more in the way of organized showers and storms possible as we head into the end of the coming week, Thursday and Friday. Now, confidence gets very low as we get into the 7 to 10 day time frame. So I'm just kind of going to leave it at that, and we'll check back in as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Understanding the pattern I just laid out for you is mostly dry as we head through the rest of the day today. Mostly dry Saturday. A couple of showers across Oklahoma and Arkansas on Monday. And Sunday, we'll keep it kind of like that into Tuesday before we bring in a chance for more in the way of organized precipitation across this region as we head into Thursday and Friday. Good agreement between the ensembles here. European on the left, GFS on the right. Total precipitation over the next week. Again, the bullseye is going to be here across the mid-Mississippi Valley into the Great Lakes, but still at times scattered showers and storms from East Texas over to Alabama and Mississippi. The opportunity to pick up about a half an inch to an inch of rain in some areas. It's not going to be a uniform half inch across the region. Just the opportunity for some of these heavier rain-producing thunderstorms to become more numerous as we head into the back half of the coming week. Otherwise, the next 4 to 5 days are actually relatively quiet across the southern U.S. No snow to talk about here in the southern U.S., obviously, but we are watching for the first accumulating snow across parts of the northern plains into the northern Great Lakes. Again, a result of this very dynamic, very amplified pattern. Look at those high temperatures to wrap things up then. Very cool, very pleasant across much of the south today. We'll see the panhandles warming up tomorrow. Another shot of cooler air arrives, though, as we head into early next week. 70s and 80s for most of us as we head into the first few weekdays of next week.